You ever see an ad for something, super high end, and you just wonder, what are they really selling here? Because it's almost never just the thing itself, right? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the marketing language for a luxury chandelier. We'll see how they first create a problem, and then, of course, offer the perfect solution. All right, let's dive in. So, right out of the gate, the marketing hits you with this question. And notice, this isn't out lighting. Not really. It's a question about legacy, about making an impact. By asking what makes a space unforgettable, they immediately yank our focus away from the practical stuff, like lumens and bulbs, and pull us straight into the emotional. They're setting the stage for something much bigger than just a lamp. Which brings us right to our first section. See, before you can sell somebody a solution, you gotta convince them they have a problem. And luxury marketing? Oh, they are masters at this. They're brilliant at finding, or let's be honest, sometimes creating, a really high-stakes problem that, surprise, surprise, their product is the only thing that can solve it. And they give this problem a name, a very official-sounding one, the architect's dilemma. I mean, think about it. Picture this huge, grand space with soaring ceilings, but instead of feeling breathtaking, it just feels kind of empty. It's that nagging feeling of wasted potential. And just like that, they've identified a problem most of us never even knew existed. And this is where they really set the hook. Just look at the words they use here. Uninspired versus awe-inspiring. Uninspired feels like a failure, right? Like you missed the mark. But awe-inspiring? Well, that's the goal. That's the dream. So this isn't just a description anymore. It's an emotional diagnosis. They've just created this huge void, and guess what? They're about to show you exactly how to fill it. Okay, so the problem's been established. We all feel the pain of our potentially uninspired grand spaces. Now the whole narrative shifts. We're moving on to the solution. And it's not just presented as a product. No way. It's framed as this poetic, almost magical thing. And this title right here, A Waterfall of Light. Yeah, that's our first big clue. And here it is, the solution in all its glory. It's not a chandelier, it's introduced as a masterpiece. Every word here is so deliberate, so carefully chosen. It's designed to fill that exact empty space they just told you about. It's like they've presented you with the perfect key to a lock you didn't even know you had. This is such a classic move in luxury marketing. First, they tell you what it isn't. It's not just a light fixture. That immediately shuts down any practical thoughts you might have. Then they hit you with the poetry. It's a cascading waterfall of light. And with that one metaphor, they've transformed a thing made in a factory into a force of nature. They're not selling you an object anymore. They're selling you the experience of having a waterfall in your house. Incredible. So you might be asking, how exactly does this thing pull off that whole waterfall of light effect? Well, the next part of the marketing breaks it all down for us. They take its physical features and frame them as these essential ingredients for its magical power. So let's take a look at the anatomy of this so-called statement piece. So, how do they justify calling it a masterpiece? Simple. They break it down for you into these 3 elements of grandeur. And look, this isn't just a boring list of specs, right? It's presented like a recipe for greatness. And doing it this way, it makes the whole thing feel so intentional, so designed, not just something that happened by accident. First up is scale. And remember that whole architect's dilemma we talked about? That big empty vertical space? Well, this is the direct answer to that problem. The dramatic scale isn't just because it looks cool, it's framed as a weapon, basically. One that's specifically engineered to conquer that emptiness and make you look up in awe. Okay, next up, the material itself. They don't just say it has crystals. No, they're meticulously crafted to reflect light. That little detail is key. It takes the simple act of flipping a light switch and turns it into a mesmerizing display. It's all about taking a totally normal, everyday moment and making it feel extraordinary. And finally, we have the finish. I mean, calling it the Midas touch of gold, come on, that is no accident. That one little phrase instantly connects this chandelier to myths, to incredible wealth, to magic. And it's also really smart because it's positioned as timeless, which is exactly what a buyer wants to hear. It's basically saying, don't worry, this huge investment will never look dated. Now, you wouldn't want a potential buyer to think, oh, that's beautiful, but it wouldn't work in my place. So the marketing then makes a point to show how versatile it is. They list everything from a modern loft to a luxury villa. And the message there is crystal clear. This thing isn't just for one style or one type of person. It's an architectural enhancement for anyone who wants this kind of grandeur. All right, let's head into our final section and see how this all comes together. We've seen the problem, we've seen the object presented as a solution, but now the marketing makes its biggest, boldest leap. It moves beyond what the object is and starts talking about what it does for you, the owner, long term. And this is the final crucial pivot. The marketing asks, what's the lasting impact? They're basically asking you to think beyond the object itself. In other words, what are you really buying here? What do you get for all that money besides, a really nice light? And of course, they have the answers all lined up. They promise 4 big benefits. And just notice the progression here. They start with the emotional, transforming the whole vibe of your space. Then they hit the financial, it's an investment. Then the social, you're going to impress people. And finally, the personal, it's an experience just for you. They are literally checking off every single reason someone might make a luxury purchase. So, what's the bottom line here? Through this whole carefully constructed story, the object itself has been completely transformed. It's not a chandelier anymore. It's been reframed as a tool for creating an atmosphere, a powerful status symbol, and even a smart financial move. They're not selling you a light. They are selling you prestige. Which brings us to one final, really big question that all of this raises. After seeing how a single object can be so meticulously framed, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? When we buy any luxury item, are we really paying for the thing itself, or are we paying for the powerful story it lets us tell about ourselves?